17 years old and 7 months pregnant when Nico became incarcerated 10 years. She said with the help of the mother, she was able to survive. She also says that she was working 7 years of her life in the club. Only alleged that she was a that she's never received a dime in child support in her whole life, and that's okay. She said, I've never been to anyone other than my son is named after. He is a junior father. Said her son's father lives in Pennsylvania and makes an honest living as a barber. Said she's been quiet too long and she had to dispel the rumors of some other athlete, baby daddy. She got pregnant at 17. Apparently was in high school. A man who went on to become incarcerated for a year. We continue with some other pictures of Michelle. Here's her and Mr. Orlando. Here's her oldest son, Nico, on the left. Not sure the two daughters want to say who is. That's her oldest son, Nico. She says in this post, this is after catching a whole lot of flack. Whenever they get in trouble, they always go with biblical verse in scripture. Alright, so now, say, get comfortable being misunderstood. Only a fraction of people will be able to truly grasp your essence. Isn't it funny? It's always, I'm rising like a phoenix through the ashes. Something so astoundingly poetic. You are not on anyone else's timeline of comprehension. Also, it's none of your business how others choose to perceive you. Most High sees you clearly. Let that be enough. In other words, don't judge me. I won't be accountable. That I'm a predator to a 22-year-old child, young man. But for her, he's the same age as her child. Like, the person who I feel the most for in this is actually not the NBA player. Right? It's not him. And I really don't want to talk too much about him because I truly feel as though even with him, it is not fair. Because I don't believe that he was mature or old enough to make this type of decision. Now, granted, the two of them would look at me and be like, hey, this broke dude who ain't got money, and the ball player is making $200 million a year. So to him, a little bit of child support for $10,000, $20,000 ain't nothing, but careers don't last forever. And in an article, in an interview, she stated, that she wanted one more child. She said, if one person, she said that she's not traditional. Red. Said, I'm not traditional. But if I want a child and someone else wants a child, we could co-parent effectively together. We'll see if this goes to divorce court or child support court. That being said, it's always wanting to use God as the excuse for lack of the Most High will judge me, but you can't. I'm not here to berate and badger this woman, but I am here for you younger men who are making decisions like this to tell you not to. We will watch this play out. And sure, on the grand scheme of things, for the man that is the child's father, he's not really worried, right? He's got the money. It's no big deal. But this is how we lose wealth, is through poor decisions. And I always say it's the 5 Ps. Poor penis production or protection produces pain. Hear me again. poor penis protection reduces pain. And what you're going to find is over the course of time, it is going to get worse, for the new baby. And, I'm sure you all know Jalen Green is the baby daddy, allegedly. And in time, when this child is born, we'll see if Draya, who's worth anywhere from $600,000 to $1 million, she already is getting, I would assume, child support for baby number 2. See if she's able to tap into that NBA money. And there she is, thirst trap. I mean, that picture's fire. Gentlemen, you gotta start wrapping it up. You can't fall for this pretty face and a smile. There's a picture again with Orlando and Draya, her oldest, Nico. Telling people to get comfortable because only God judges me. I'm a phoenix and I crash, but I rise. And there's Mr. Jalen Green. Now, what's interesting is when the child is born, uncle and daddy are the same age. The same age. We know the feminazis in the women's sphere would be going ape if it was a 39-year-old man who impregnated a 21-year-old woman, 22-year-old woman who just signed a contract that came up. This is predatory. $200 million contract. You have to wonder who's in his circle. You cannot be so frivolous with your seed, man. There's her, all due respect, that's Draya and her now deceased dad. In where that was taken, but that is her father. That's her and her mother, Miss Diaz. I don't know why people keep saying that his mother's Italian, but Diaz is her mother's name. That's Draya is a very young little girl. There's Draya and I believe her 2 daughters and her oldest, Nico. Who, how do you have that argument with, do you call him dad? Dad? They get married and he's the same age as you? It's messy. That's her and her youngest, Drew, J-R-U, with the football player. That's her posting on Mother's Day. And mind you, she's been catching a lot of alleged flack over her mothering skills. One report alleges, Sandra Rose alleges that there's a nanny that takes care of the second child almost exclusively. I think they allege that the nanny is a white woman, and there's alleged holiday pictures where Draya isn't there, but her children, her son, I should say, they're saying that they haven't released the photos because it's hard to prove. So these are all alleged conversations, not been proven to be true. But basically that she leaves the child in the care of the nanny and she's, whether that's true or not, we'll find out. But those are the allegations. Again, ball player. And there we have it. Oh, I skipped and hit the wrong button, y'all. Y'all forgive me. Lord, it was a late night and I'm trying to enjoy my whiskey. That's mom. The youngest, or the second, her Mama's Day, trying to have solidarity with women. But there's the young lad again. Her with her oldest. And this. Apparently, there's a story. This is actual from the Wyomissing police. A 7-year-old Wyomissing boy was coming home from school to an empty apartment and spending nights, not singular, plural, nights, Jonathan Post said, for the love of money, some women will do anything. It is on sale. Women have learned that you don't need work and struggle. All you got to do is get an NBA player to pop a baby in you, or any man who's making six figures, and it's on. Life secured. Bag done. Jonathan said he's a fatherless child and she's a predator. No words are more true. If his mother wasn't ratchet herself, she'd be in jail. Hood rats always hide behind God when they knowingly do shady stuff. Shady would be polite. So this is what happened with Nico. At this point, let's do the math. He's 7 years old. She gave birth at 17, so talking 23, 24, depending on when she gave birth. And right? Nico calls the police. He was coming home from school to an empty apartment and spending nights alone while his mother worked in Philadelphia. She was stripped, allegedly. Borough police said Friday, the boy told police that he would get off the bus most days, plural, and he would wait for someone. So he's sitting there posted up by the gate. When someone hits the gate to open up the door to the apartment complex, he goes and sneaks in, 7 years old, and wait for someone to leave or enter the gated parking garage until the apartment complex in the 100 block of North Park Road, so he could get into the building. His mother, Andrea M. Howard, would leave the apartment door unlocked and leave microwave dinners in the freezer. Jesus. For the love of God. Days. So while she's out stripping, the 7-year-old boy was alone in an apartment that was unlocked. Police, in another report that I read, alleged that the place was disgusting. It was messy. A complete mess. The boy was just living there, sleeping and going to school by himself. No, I'm sure she showed up later on that night and took him to school. But they said he was coming more than once, to an empty apartment and spending nights, plural, multiple nights, means more than one time, alone while his mother worked in Philadelphia. What time do strip clubs close? They don't close until 8, 9 o'clock. She was out there until early in the morning, coming home smelling like cocoa butter. This is a mess. And this is who we are choosing to propagate with and have a family. Jonathan could have said it. Couldn't have said it any better. The love of money. She ain't there for these kids. And I'm sad, I'm sorry, 22, the Jalen has no idea what he just been on. Because now here you got a child with a woman who's 40. By the time you yourself are 40 years old, 18 years old, she's 58. It is very likely she will die. He will be taking care of that child on his own. Granted, at 40, he'll be fine. It's women who supposedly outlive men. Not when you got a 18-year head start. And allegedly, her oldest son and this young man are months apart in age. Like the person I really feel bad for in all this is her son. The embarrassment. I'd be so embarrassed. Like, Mom, what the? Notice when she did the ode to God, don't judge me, she ain't never said, I'm so in love with this man. No. She said, I'm non-traditional in an interview. And it's just like, you want to make a baby, make a baby. Cool. But these children are not getting the best outcome with their mother and father. That's what you should aspire to. But we've normalized baby mama in this so much. And you're out there spraying up in random chicks. Now what happens after this breaks up? Because it will. And he finds another woman. And it's like, oh, we got this other kid that comes over and disrupts our house. The unit that we have, that we've built. This is the problem. That we don't understand and respect family anymore. So where are we here, Gordon? What are we here to talk about again? Who? Come on. Gordon the thing. Here's what I'm here to talk about. We've got to make better decisions. We've got to make better decisions in terms of picking the person who's going to be the mother of our children. Hey, guilty as charged. Have I done it? I'd be lying if I didn't say it. I've made my mistakes too. But the purpose of this show is that you don't look. I got the crash dummy perfected. Right? I've made all the mistakes, made all the bad choices. You don't have to. We know how this is going to work out. He's going to get bled. And granted for him, 200 million. If I came from nothing and you lose 20 million, you're like, nah, I still got 180 million. I'm good. You shouldn't be giving away your wealth that you earn. You know, I want to go to an article, as a matter of fact. And Wendy Williams kind of dug into her. And Wendy Williams made a comment, a couple of them that I want to outline, that she came raw with her in an interview on the Wendy Williams show years ago. I want to say 2010. You know, basically Wendy was calling her slutty and asked her questions. She said, you know, Draya, they said in the article that she didn't get rattled, but Wendy said this girl gets around. Draya responded, I just, you know, when asked by Wendy about leaving her child, abandoning her alone, she said, I discussed it in 2010. I discussed it on the show, and it was just like, I want to move on with my life to show people that I'm not this person that they created me out to be. No, ma'am. You did it. Nobody created that. No one told you to leave that child alone to go stripping. Like, I mean, I don't know how to make it even better. And you left them frozen dinners to microwave? I wouldn't trust no 7-year-old microwaving, knowing a 7-year-old put a dang knife in the microwave. You left him unattended with frozen dinners? She also said, Wendy spoke up, citing Draya's refusal to answer her inquiries as questionable. She stated, if you're going to continue to be on your back and only exemplify behavior that we saw on Basketball Wives, or defensive, nasty behavior, which I don't think you were nasty yesterday. I actually liked meeting you and loved your Fendi dress, but I don't think that you did anything to defend your reputation of coming up lying down. That's all. You came up laying down. I've seen in a podcast, a woman was interviewed, and same thing. He said, take away your looks, and if you were a man, you'd starve. What skill do you possess? She stripped. She got the fake yammies put in. She turned predatory. Predatory. And a 22-year-old boy, like, if you had any sense of respect for him, be like, listen, you too young to be making these decisions. We could play and have fun, but like, you don't want this for yourself. Would you want that for your son, Draya? If a 39, 40-year-old woman got your son pregnant, and whoa, let's back up, because you know I'm the king of talking about the risks, the birth defects associated with older women. The statistic goes, if a 30-year-old woman gets pregnant, there's a 1 in 1,000 chance that child may have autism or Down syndrome. When she approaches 40, it drops to 1 in 100. You go from 1 in 1,000, 1 in 100. You're rolling the dice. She's 39. The chances of autism and Down syndrome, oh, Gordon, my friend, she got pregnant at 40, you have no problems. You ever notice why are we hearing so much about autism and Down syndrome? That it's not just the drugs. It's that you've had those eggs in your body, young lady, since you were in your mother's womb. Them eggs are 40 years old. They're old eggs. Some of them, going to be compromised when it comes to viability, and the best eggs have already left the body. This is what's left on the shelf still. This is the stuff that when you look at the milk and you got to smell it to make sure the milk is still good. Gentlemen, please take heed. When you are with a woman who is over 30, understand the risks. 18 to 28 is really the best years. You are gambling with your child's mental or physical health. And the higher risk of birth defects, this is not up for debate. Google the effects of women, older women when they have children, the risk of birth. It's not a lie. This is common knowledge, but apparently feminazis aren't sharing this with the men, and the men don't know that this is a known fact. When a woman gets pregnant over 37, the hospitals call it geriatric pregnancy for a reason. That being said, I do thank you all for supporting the show. We are about to reach a milestone. Tune in next week. Toxic Reality Show for our next topic. I really appreciate it. Please share this video as many people as you can. Get the word out. We're here to bring back love. I'm trying to save some of you guys from making the mistakes that I and many men are making before. Give yourself a shot. Make better decisions. I genuinely want the best for you, because you risk deep sorrow and regret the actions that you've taken with these predatory women using sex and a baby. Well, that being said,